Happy Rising, Star Pupils. I'm your host, friend, and life coach, Mrs.Divine, and I bridge the gap between intuition and intelligence. So this video today is important because I'm going to teach you how easy it is to think. Okay, we've been trained primarily from our left brain, teaching us that it's very, very, very hard to think because we're thinking logically, right? And then some of those who are geared more toward the right brain, they think in a different kind of way. But still, there's a lot of constraints and restraints on the right brain. So I'm going to teach you how to think using both sides of your brain, left and right, to show you just how easy thinking is. And see, it's important because if we don't understand how easy thinking is, thinking where you get the precise answer to what you're looking for when you intuitively feel it and logically know it, that's the kind of thinking I'm talking about. When you don't know how easy it is to think, you're going to rely on technology for everything. You're going to Google everything. And you're going to just simply not think when it gets hard for you. You're going to feel like it's overwhelming and chaotic to even sit down and think and focus for a little bit, because focus is a big part of thinking, okay? So if you get used to not knowing how to think and zinc with yourself, then it's going to be very hard for you to intake information that you're not used to. And it's going to be very hard for you to intake information when it's requiring you to sit down and focus. You're going to think you just simply weren't made to do it. But all that's showing is that either A, you have become reliant on technology, or B, you have become content with doing things that are so easy you don't have to think about, okay? So if you don't lose it, you will lose it. So it's time for me to help you learn how to think and help you remember that thinking is not hard, okay? So currently we have Google saying things like, Gmail is highly intuitive, okay? And you guys kind of are starting to feel like Gmail and Google and stuff like that are highly intuitive, and they just know what you're thinking. I was just thinking about this, and look what pops up on my news feed. I was just talking about this, and look what it suggests in my ads, okay? First of all, it's tracking you and stalking you, and you're letting it. Second of all, it's giving you suggestions the whole time. All these ads and stuff that are popping up every time you're logging on, every time you're in front of a computer screen of any sort. Information is coming through to you that you didn't necessarily ask for, okay? But your mind is processing it, making it more real and more concrete here in your physical reality. So only some of you will understand that, but those who are supposed to understand that will understand that. And those who don't yet, one day will, okay? So let me teach you how to think so I can remind you of your power and the power that's within you and only you. And no technology, no computer can ever meet you at. It can never surpass you, okay? So here's how you think. You have a question, right? You want to know why in your dream, okay, why in your dream something happened to you and it happened to your hair, right? It happened to your hair. Why did this happen to my hair in my dream, right? So if you're trying to interpret your dream, that's a very important aspect of it that came up for you that's lingering on your mind. Why my hair? So there's one or two things you can do. Well, three things you can do. First one, you can completely ignore it and say, who knows, who cares, it's just a dream. Second, you can go to Google, right? Google or your book of symbols, whatever it is, and you go to Google and you type in significance of hair and dream or something of that sort, right? Dreamt of hair being cut. What does that mean? You know, and Google's going to provide all this information on what it could possibly provide. Or you can do the third way, which to me is the simplest way and has become my dominant way of thinking. It does take practice to understand that you literally got your answer and it came to you pretty quickly, okay? It does take practice to start trusting in yourself and learning and remembering that you have all the answers. But that practice is something that you can commit to doing if you're a serious student of really learning who you are and understanding how to operate using your whole mind just to see the difference that it makes in your world. So this third way involves you saying to yourself, your subconscious mind which is connected to your conscious mind, and together they are connected to your superconscious mind. You say to yourself, whether aloud or internally in your own head, or both, what is the significance of that happening to my hair? Why my hair? Just like that. And then you're going to start getting feedback. You're going to start getting enough clues to give you your evidence and your proof of why that happened in your dream, or why your hair. Now, you can go on Google and ask those questions. You're going to get one set of results. So I suggest you do both. If you're new at learning how to trust in yourself, if you're new at learning how to use your full brain to think and to operate in this world, then I would suggest that you start off with first asking yourself and writing down all the clues that come to you and interpreting it that way first, then going online to go check, okay? You may see that they line up exactly what was given to you from your own world, your own consciousness. So why my hair, right? I ask myself that out loud. I may look in the mirror and ask myself that. Don't have to. I could simply just sit here and think in my head, okay, why my hair? What is the significance of my hair? However you talk to yourself. So in Google, you're trained to talk with certain words, or, be specific. You cannot ask words like, you cannot ask questions like, how come my hair was cut in my dream and I woke up feeling like this, right? It can't do all that. You have to get very specific so that it can get down to the answer that you're looking for. And that is kind of the same way of how your brain works. The only difference I'm going to say is that you don't have to use the most popular search words, right? You can do it in exactly what makes sense to you. So simply, why the hair, okay? You don't have to say why my hair in dream. You don't have to say why my hair interpretation or hair dream symbol interpretation, nothing like that. Just why my hair, okay? And then why my hair? When you ask yourself that, and I mean literally, it's very simple, guys. Think that line, that stream in your head, like a line, like you're typing it out in your head. Why my hair? Just think that. And you're going to start getting answers. So the way you get answers, how do I find my answers? How do I know that they're answers? That's the thing. The more you practice, you're going to start to see how your answers just start coming like almost instantly, like a Google search for real. But you'll get that in thought forms, a simple response, right? Oh, your hair is connected to your spirituality. My hair is connected to my spirituality. How? You could still keep asking those questions, like how you would Google if it said, because hair is a Tremanosaurus. You never heard of the word Tremanosaurus. I don't know if that's a word. I don't know what it means. I don't care. I'm just saying something off the wall where you're like, never heard of that. And then you would type into Google a follow-up question. What is a Tyrannosaurus, right? You would do the same thing in your head. How is hair spirituality? And then you're going to get another answer coming into you. So it all depends on, so for a lot of the time, some people may get answers that come to them internally through a thought form, right? It may just come up as their same voice in their head saying an answer, just throwing out an answer out there, right? It's like you just hear it in your head. But that's if they perceive things by knowing things, right? If they're intuitively just a knower like that, right? If not, they may visually get that input, right? So any of your senses, including intuition, is how you will get these answers. Some people have, I know it's weird, it sounds weird, but some people have super taste buds, like their mouth tells them a lot of information, right? So they may have a taste that reminds them of what the answer is. They may hear the lyrics of a song, they might say, why my hair? Then they go out and they walk in, they go to their car, they start it up and they're reversing to go somewhere, right? And they may hear lyrics of a song that literally answer their question because they're auditory, right? They hear things. They know through hearing, or they have clear audio. Some people may be the visual, right? And so then they see something that hints at them or tells them the answer to why their hair. Some people may touch something or touch by someone, get someone a hug, and all of a sudden they have the information that they needed to why their hair. All right? So it's all about your senses and how they interpret the information that you're giving or that you're asking for. And even if even if you are typically a person who knows information just because it comes to them intuitively or by knowing, it may come to you in different form because you know so much. Maybe knowing is what you're used to getting your information from, or what you feel like, okay, it's definitely confirmed because it came to me like this. But you're not limited to your knowing, right? You're not limited to your vision. You're not limited to your smell. You're not limited to your mouth. You're not limited to what you hear. You're not limited to what you feel. And you're not limited to what you intuit. So it can come to you in any way you can perceive things in this human form. It can come to you in any way, but you have to be ready to listen to it. You have to be sensitive enough to detect the information when it comes to you. You have to be sensitive enough to your reality, your current world, to understand the information that is coming to you. So you are the supercomputers. You are the intuitive Google that they like to tell you about. Your Gmail is not intuitive. You are intuitive. Google is not intuitive. You are intuitive. Okay? All the answers lie within you. Matter of fact, Google wouldn't have any answers or know anything had it not been for you and everyone else around typing in Google searches, okay? Every time they have a question, they seek the answer, and they would never have that question if you didn't have that question. So do you understand that? They would never have the answers if you didn't give the answers in the first place. How many of us are always giving answers and information? That's what this YouTube is about. For mine, I'm always giving information and answers, right? I'm even out here asking the questions sometimes. I don't hear myself until I look back at my videos, but I see the questions I'm putting out there for me. And we're not the only ones. Y'all ain't the only ones listening. Everyone is listening. Everything is listening. This technology is listening. Every time when you go to sign up for something and they want to see this captcha thing, right? Are you a human or are you a robot? Let's verify that you're a human. Click on all the boxes that show a bicycle. And then you go clicking it to verify you're a human. Click on all the boxes that show traffic signals. And you go clicking it to show that you're a human. All that's doing is making technology smarter because technology doesn't quite understand. AI doesn't quite understand the things you know, right? It's not always certain what's a bike. It's not always certain what a traffic signal is because sometimes it looks differently. It's the humans who have that up-to-date perception, right? Up to date. They always got to update because they got to keep up with what we're giving them. But every time you click on a box like that when you're trying to verify that you're human, all you're doing is you're programming the AI, right? You're programming this technology. So understanding that you are constantly programming the technology with how you act, the things you say and do, the videos you make, the things you put on your social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, it's taking in all that information so that it can program itself, so that it can learn. AI is learning from you. So then there is no way you can ever believe that Google is more smarter than you. There is no way you should ever believe that Google and Gmail and technology is more intuitive than you. You are what's super connected. And you are what's superly connecting everything else. You just got to be aware of it. Have a great day, Star Peoples.